Hello and welcome to our BNEWS Weather Center. I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, and I'm here with our meteorologist Peter Brown. We had him in today because, as everyone knows, we are in the middle of a drought. You go outside, the grass is brown, there is a watering restriction in town, everything's completely dry. So even though we got a little bit of rain today, how is the current situation?
Well, thank you for having me, Rich, and I'm glad that I'm here to help you talk about the drought.
Well, thank you.
And this first map that I'm going to actually direct your attention to, this is a picture of what the drought really looks like in Massachusetts right now for our area. And all of this orange color, this covers 67% of the state, and we're in severe drought, especially here in our area in Burlington and up into northeastern Massachusetts. This is almost on borderline with exceptional drought, so it's pretty serious at this point.
And how does this compare, other years, other droughts that you've seen?
Sure, absolutely. So when we look at a map at this, and I've been looking at some of the data, we're probably in our area, we're really 9 to 12 inches below normal for this time of the year. So we're running a very large deficit, that's for sure.
And like I mentioned, we're taping on Wednesday. There's been some rain today. Any look at the week or a couple weeks ahead that say that we might be able to break this cycle?
Well, I actually have some good news for you on that. It actually looks like going into probably, I want to say about the August 15th, 16th range, it looks like we have a chance of showers and thunderstorms with heavy rain almost every day. So hopefully that'll bring us some beneficial rain because we need it badly, that's for sure. And in any way, shape, or form at this point, anything's going to help.
Great. I know you got some other maps. Want to take a look at the next one?
Yes,
and
sure thing.
Tell us what you can tell us.
Absolutely. So the next graphic that's going to come up, this is actually a look at the normal percent of precipitation that we've had all over the country from basically the beginning of the summer up through the end of July. So if you look up here, just over my shoulder here in northeastern Massachusetts, we've only had about 25 to 35% of our normal rainfall for the summer. So that's quite dramatic when you see that. That's really on par almost with what's going on in Texas and some places in the West.
So we're actually pretty close to getting into that red sort of.
Yes, I would say if these kinds of dry conditions continue for a couple more weeks, we'll probably be very close to being in that red type of a zone.
And all right, one more you have here?
Yes, and the next map that I'm going to show you is going to show you a little bit about the longevity of the drought coming up.
Okay.
And basically what this is, again, over my shoulder, you can see this brown patch over our area here in Massachusetts and most of southern New England. That's basically a forecast from the Climate Prediction Center saying that the drought looks like it's going to last maybe several more months. It doesn't look like
several more months.
Several more months. There could be a little bit of leeway here and there. We could get some rainstorms in between, but basically overall, they're really predicting not really an entire makeup of our drought deficit, that's for sure, and it could continue as far as 6 months out.
What kind of impact could that have? Agriculture or,
Sure, absolutely. Well, when you get into these areas, we see these areas in green in some places down around the New York area. That looks like the forecast looks like the drought's going to persist a little bit, but conditions look like it's going to change a little bit, maybe to a wetter period. But anywhere like you see out west and here in southern New England, any of that brown says, well, it doesn't look like it's going to get that much better. And that's at the point where it's not really affecting agriculture just anymore. It's starting to affect the ecology, and of course, and that's something that's very serious.
So it could be dangerous conditions.
It could, and that's of course something that affects wildlife and feeding patterns. So I mean, animals that you may not have normally seen in your backyard could be coming in looking for any way that they can get a drink of water from one of your faucets outside or something like that.
Wow. All right, well, I know you're going to be back later on for your weather report. I want to thank you for taking the time to sort of go through and talk about this current drought.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot for having me, Rich.
All right, and back to you in the studio.